I'd like to welcome you back to the Linguistic Landscape and Autoethnography of Place course. This is the sixth video and workshop in the series. In our last workshop, we dealt with how to conduct a linguistic landscape analysis. In this workshop, we'll deal with autoethnographic interaction. So if we look at the schematic of the process, as you already know, we've moved from the data collection stage to the research stage, although in autoethnography there is a continual process of using data from yourself, and we'll be exploring that today. So we're on question 1b. What are the emotions, identities, experiences, cultural aspects, community understandings, and narratives that have shaped place X for me? So first off, we've already got some data here because early in the process you generated some. So I'd look at your personal reasons for choosing this site, your justification text, look at your journal entries dealing with observations, sensory impressions, memories, emotions, and look at your contextual data. So read over all the things that you have generated so far, and then sort of just take some time to think carefully about what the place means to you in your community context. Once again, you don't have to reduce everything to clarity or cohesion or coherence, but rather think of this as an interaction with. There can be different understandings in the same place. You're trying to position yourself within them. We're also going to enter into a process of eliciting some data. This is central to any autoethnography. What I'm about to describe, you probably will have to do several times. I'd like you to think about the place that you've chosen. I'd like to think about several experiences you've had in that place. You could name each place, each experience. And then what I would like you to do is to enter into some free writing. Free writing is a process in which you write whatever comes to your mind, free association, without any consideration of grammar, word choice, and so on. You just free write. I've written here for 10 minutes. It might be a bit longer, it might be a bit shorter. But what you want to do is you want to free up your memory about each of these particular experiences that you have chosen. And then once you've done that, I'd like to look at what you've written and to write something which is slightly more formed, I would say, slightly more cognitively engaged, and write a 2 to 3 paragraph summary for each experience. It's important, though, that you keep the feelings and the meanings and the descriptions and the images alive. You're not just trying to tell a narrative, you're really trying to bring an experience alive. And so that if I was to read it or if someone else was to read it, they'd have a sense of the experience that you're thinking. And you might have 2 or 3 or 4 experiences at this site which are of value. I'm sure that when you chose this site, you were thinking of one particular memory. I think that's how this works. But it'd be nice if you could, if you've probably had more memories, if this is a meaningful place. Now that you've generated some of that data, and I hope you took the time necessary to do that, I'd like you to think about the ways in which social and community discourses, histories, and narratives interacted with the experiences you just described. So try and think about the layers that you have here, the discursive layers, the historical layers, the familial layers, the different stories that are told about this place, and how your experience in this place plays around, interacts. I think the word interaction is key here, because what we're trying to do is to get that layered sort of approach to understanding place. Okay, now that we've done quite a lot of work I'd like you to write an integrated text in which you describe your personal experience in your chosen place. Make sure you include the way you felt, the way discourse and sight interacted with your feelings, identities, and experiences. Be descriptive. You can be ambiguous. Try not to make everything coherent, because if it's coherent, I'm pretty sure you're missing some of the layers that are going on. And with that, I will see you in our next video.